Hello everyone, welcome to Life as a Young Activist podcast, introducing Cycle for Hope series, pedaling for justice to COP30. In this powerful 4-part mini-series from Life as a Young Activist, we journey alongside 4 young African climate activists who are cycling from Nairobi across African countries all the way to COP30 to demand climate justice, accountability, and global action. Through intimate conversation with felicitous Enock, Hashu, and the team behind Cycle for Hope and the Wheels for Climate, we will explore their stories beyond the wheels. They'll tell us about their personal missions, the communities they're riding for, the intersection of climate justice and social justice, and the weight of responsibility and leadership on the road. These 4 young African climate activists are riding 15,000 plus kilometers across 5 African countries to document real African climate stories from which they will make a statement and present at COP30. They will tell us why this isn't just a ride for them, as they say, but how this is a resistance, a witness, a lifeline, and more so even a testament that African youth are no longer waiting but they're on the move. So stick around as they share the story and see how you could be part of the ride. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back. And in this section, we'll be exploring rider stories. We'll be meeting the riders behind this amazing initiative of riding to COP30. Today, we are together with Enock, and we'll get to hear his part of the story of why he joined this ride and why he's so passionate about climate. Right. So thank you for joining us, Enock.
Yeah.
Welcome to Life as a Young Activist.
Great. Truly honored, privileged, and also humbled to be around in this place.
Amazing. You are taking on a really, really powerful journey. And the first time I heard about Cycle for Hope, it was crazy for me personally, riding over 15,000 kilometers to COP30. But before we get into that, tell us, who is Enock? And what do you do? Why are you so passionate about this? And what do you stand for?
So thank you very much for the wow. When first you say who is Enock, even I just smile because he's a package full of power.
Yeah.
And now, as I am now, my handworks revolve around electrical works. My artworks like passion. I'm into really environment and climate advocacy, and in a summary, I'm truly a sustainable agent of what I talk and echo. And the other big thing is I am really centered at the community, impact, resilience, restoring and telling the story in a way that we can all connect and have a vibrance in taking the change. Yeah.
Amazing. And have a vibrance in taking the change. You mentioned telling the stories in a way we can all connect. That brings me to the second question. What sparked your interest into activism? How did you get into this space?
Wow. First and foremost, when I was growing, my biggest person of inspiration, she has been Paula Kaumbu. And watching National Geographic, Habitats, Wildlife, I was seeing there was a gap in our existence. We are more into building and the anthropogenic activities. They were like growing. No one like really cared. As I was back in my like rural community, like school, I was seeing drastic change, especially for the local, like small squirrels, birds, and there was something has to be done. And I didn't have like a big move, but I knew my best like foot forward is just starting with what I have. So having seen, watched, followed people who are doing something that really is changing and shaping, it was like a seed. In fact, I normally base my story as a living oak, like an oak tree. Like my seed was buried and my community was the soil that it was giving me the conditions for me to like germinate. So an oak, why an oak tree? Why an oak first? Oak is a plant, it's an adult tree that really signifies symbolically one, honesty, integrity, justice, also tenacity and vitality to the ecosystem. So for me, being an oak, I am really truly missioned and empowered to like take the change. And with now seeing Paula Kaumbu following a story, in fact, I wrote to her almost 30 emails. No replies. I took myself to her office, found her PA. He told me, you know what, she's not around, but just drop what you have. I had a nail-like size CV. I just wrote my name, my contact info, my email, and the big thing, I'm just passionate. So it happened like after I joined in college, I met like the environment club, and then there was this land that was being grabbed at like Kiambu Forest, and there was this activist called Joanne Stachbury. She was slaughtered and killed because she was defending one of key ecosystems around, like it is like it was gazetted joining the Karura forest, but because of development and all. So this was another way. It was a big avenue for motivating me to be like an actor and also a voice. But now, after following the case, after she was murdered, doing photography, following what the investor is doing, they one day sent like big dogs, I call them machine dogs. Dogs that when they bark, you feel the vibration and the frequency of, they are like, So that's what made me to become a truly and also the environmental injustices that surround pollution, carelessness. We want more, yet we give less or none to where we harvest or get things from Mother Earth. Yeah.
Wow, that was powerful, Enoch. That was very, very powerful.
Thank you.
You just answered the next question, which was to be, what specific areas or causes or injustices that drive your work, and you've just told us something really interesting about your passion with what Madam Paula does and the other activists who unfortunately lost their life defending the rights, environmental rights. That was really, thank you for sharing that with us. And we really, really do hope Madam Paula really sees this, because dropping messages and having no response, definitely, the work you're doing will definitely also inspire her and many more other people there.
Great, thank you.
I'd really love to talk to you about your activism, and you've taken it to another level, which is just really also inspiring. It kind of just shapes your journey from how you started as a National Geographic enthusiast, and then you went into the environmental space. But now there's something even much more powerful that you're doing. You are into the climate space all through, and you are exploring also just transition in energy and sustainable energy systems. And you just got into this bold initiative known as Wheels for Climate. Maybe how about you tell us about Wheels for Climate first, and then we get to what Wheels for Climate is actually doing.
Well, thank you very much. Now, joining this is, when I see Wheels for Climate is first, it brings the paddle power in my sense of like organization. Yeah. So growing up being like like doing cycling as a hobby, doing stretch, and for weekends. Now it came to a point I realized, wow, why don't we advance this? As we were talking about Journey COP27, we needed to be at COP27 in Egypt, but we didn't have funds. And now the activism thing was in us with my friend called Ashu HD. So he mentioned, why don't we, like, there were like other organizations doing something to do with marching for the planet to COP27, and we said, why don't we cycle? Why don't we show we can like lower the emission and also take our message of hope, and how best can we like integrate these solutions, not the paper written solutions, but putting the paper written practices into real action. So we started just small and said, we have this idea of bringing and restoring the story of like two wheels bicycle, because at times and most of times cycling has been majorly been put as a champion, like it's for champions, elites, and the other big people is the small scale people. So now bridging in the gap of the people, the government, and the bikes themselves. Because you understand, in Kenya, we don't have cycling infrastructure. The other big thing is no one really cares about like decongesting. Every now and then we get new vehicles, new like inefficiency is in our heartbeats. No one really cares about how best can we make like sustainable cities in line to what we like have in mind. So we said, why don't we like set Wheels for Climate? Our core pillars is Wheels for Life, Wheels for Hope. There is also Wheels for Compassion. And the other thing is putting together the voices of like people who want to do cycling and they want to change their behaviors in also tackling climate change in action, and also safeguarding what they have and presenting it at the best suitable practice.
Wow, it is an amazing story. We'd really love to hear about your story with COP30. You just mentioned right now that you started this plan a few years before. Was it COP27?
Yeah, COP27.
COP27. You also did the same with 28.
Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt. Wow, even the word was so hard, fast pronouncing. Yeah.
You had it all planned out, but unfortunately it did not happen. The same with COP28, 29. Now we are at one of the biggest yet, and a lot of people are anticipating for this. That is COP30. And you have created something really amazing, and there's a whole campaign about it out there on the internet called Cycle for Hope. Yeah. Right? And this is a cycle to COP30. You're literally on bikes across African countries, and then across Atlantic Ocean into the Amazon forest, and then into the heart of Brazil, the Belém. Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy, I have to be honest.
It's crazy, but...
Tell us about it. How did you become part of this cycle to COP30 initiative?
First, I'm not a cycle, like a psychiatrist case. I'm a cyclist.
You're a cyclist, yes.
Yeah, but my friends also confused me with a mental like cycle person. Because now the idea is, wow, like a big one.
True.
So first is, now as I touched my introduction, having the sense of the energy and the electricity skill in me, and the passion and into this activism, I said, and we sat down with my like immediate counterpart HD and crafted this idea with the help of e-bikes Africa, co-partner of this project. So the biggest thing, it is not just going at the COP, but it's carrying a substantial message, letting the unseen, the unheard, the unreached, the unturned to be laid at the table where leaders meet. And the other thing, I'm not focusing at the end point of the journey, but it is in every kilometer, every meter, every like country, every community, every connection that we make at the grassroots level that brings the collage of the picture that we'll carry there and the videos and the sound.
Wow. Every kilometer, every minute, every meter, I mean.
Yeah, every meter.
Wow. How does it feel? It's 15,000 kilometers anyway.
First, the journey.
Over 15,000 kilometers.
Yeah, the journey starts in mental, then it started from the soul, then mental.
Amazing.
There are like layers to this.
Yeah.
When like seeing this being executed, it's not just a written down activity or a program.
Yeah.
It is like it's from the spirit, and the spirit energizes the soul, and the soul drives the engine, the computing element of the body, and now the executors, the receptors. Here we go. So I don't see the 15,000 kilometers. I see the backbone of the 15,000 kilometers. Why am I doing this? Why am I pulling the people, the African? I know being black doesn't say you are dark, but it's bold. We are cemented to move and shape because we have been left back. And we are not backward, we are ahead. All these solutions are at the center of Africa, and Africa really shapes where we are going. Because if we are talking about just energy, renewable energy, most of it at the heart of Africa, we have a lot unexploited and exploited avenues of turning this potential into reality if the communities are given the space, the conditions, and also the ear and their voice being implemented. Not at the cost of someone else, but equity and justice being in all that we take. Yeah.
We can just have a moment to take that in, because that was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
I like your vision for Africa. It's unlike many we've seen in most of Pan-African activism, right? You have clearly pointed out something really important that a lot of people really need to know. And the way that you're actually amplifying this, it's through just something simple as cycling.
Yeah.
Maybe you mentioned e-bikes. You can tell us a little bit about e-bikes and how they came in. What's their role in this journey?
So if you hear about e-bikes, now we break down who is this buying the e-bikes. Thankfully, e-bikes Africa came on board as our primarily technical partner. Now for the bikes and also for shaping the idea in terms of technical and their logistical, advisory and all this. In fact, I can say e-bikes, they are like the heartbeat of this project, because without the bikes, our message loses like the chords and also the way of conveying the message using through the bikes. So an e-bike, it's like when tradition meets modernity. It's the traditional bike, but now powered using a gear, motor, and then a battery and a control system. So
It's
we'll
electrical.
be using its
100%
range.
electrical.
The bike range can do 80 to 100 kilometers for a single charge.
Wow.
And we'll be carrying extra batteries, and we'll be recharging the bikes using a renewable power backup system from Buleti. So it's not only just having a sense of like moving forward, but as we go ahead, we are seeing like we are imprinting a message that isn't like away from where we are going. Every print, every step we are going, we really wanna let the communities, people, the climate cafes that will be having, they try and have a message to the people, and we also harness what the people have for us. In that synergy, we have the best at art for the people and for all amongst us. Yeah.
Amazing. I really like the way you always seem to close an answer with a powerful message. It's amazing the way you put it like that. You know, the concept of electric bikes has been something on the talks for many people for many years now. Ever since it was introduced, it has been, even though as interesting and innovative as it came out to be, it never really made those stages where it could be something that could change the future, could change, participate in this top activism spaces, right? And you guys taking that on right now clearly just sends a message but within itself.
Yeah.
You mentioned something about the renewable energy and the extra batteries that you're getting. Maybe you could tell us about that. And you also mentioned another partner, Blue Tea.
Yeah, so...
Is it Bullet or Blue Tea?
Wow. I know my first language was my mother tongue. So my lens and wording might be corrupted, but that doesn't deter me from communicating. I try my level best. My E can be Otherwise, at least I am shaping my lips, and also I am avoiding words decomposing when I'm trying to articulate them. So coming back. So for the extra battery, so the battery packs that we have, the battery that comes with the bike, it's 624 watts per hour.
Wow.
So breaking it down, those are electrical terms, or physics and all these things. So that is like the power or the wattage, the power that the battery carries for the motor. So having like for a given one typical battery, it can take you 80 kilometers. So having two batteries, we have a range of 160 kilometers. Now, Blueti, they are offering us affordable solar panel, which, if I'm not wrong, is 170 to 200 watts of charging when it is exposed to sun. And also they will be offering power backups. It's a fuel cell that will also be, in case of extra charge during good sun exposure to our solar panels, we can carry extra charge so that we can be fully charging our batteries. So I know you will ask, how will we use this? We have like a sweeper bike that will be carrying the batteries. And the other thing is also about Bluity Technologies. It is like well versed in offering like set tailor-made. I can call it, they are like, it's a bespoke set equipment for our journey. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is amazing. We're getting to learn more about the technical part of it.
Yeah.
Right? We talked about the theoretical part of it being a justice of a journey to, you're pedaling for justice, right? We also got to talk about the technical part of things and how this is going to be possible.
Yeah.
Maybe let's get into the geographical part of it right now, because I think I mentioned a little bit about the journey, how you're going to be moving across African countries, and then you go across Atlantic and then into the Amazon and then to Belém. Maybe you give us a geographical hindsight of how this is. Like, how do you start?
So for now, geography, it's where it's our core, I can say, track, and also the journey is laid on land. So I can't wait for Namibia desert.
I just thought about that when you were speaking.
Yeah. So it's more of now resilience, tenacity, and now bringing in the rare breed mentality, like the thick skin, an hybrid skin made up of an hippo X fit crocodile skin, you are heavily armored, because I know coming from this African leg, it will be a one of a kind narration that really, it's like passing through the fire and being grilled and also being roasted, marinated. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to the person that will come out of this journey. I know for now it's just speculative, but when the rubber meets the tarmac, that's when we'll start engraving the story. Yeah.
Wow. You sound like you're going to come up with a memoir after this.
Yeah. In fact, buying the scenes, the band, also the rains. Wow, I know it's more of bringing the vitamin D determination.
Yeah. Vitamin D, the determination
that distinguishes an average human to a human that exploits their unlimited heights.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are also looking forward to the person who's going to come out of this journey. There are going to be a lot of challenges, and especially climate-related challenges that you're going to encounter in this journey. And to just speak of them here would not really.
I can't list. I can't list them.
You can't.
Tomorrow is really uncertain, and also different people, different regions, different name, in all the difference is just a wide range and array of unexpected. But I love the unexpected because it breaks my expectation to be ready. Yeah.
There's a quote my good friend always saying that always, right, look forward for the best, but always prepare for the worst.
Yeah. It's called the best worst.
The best worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we are wrapping up, we'd maybe like to talk about the post-cycle impact that you really want to see. I know maybe this might be too into or too far into the future, but it's also really important we get to talk about this so that it keeps us grounded on the intention and the mission that we have for this. Maybe you could tell us, what are you looking forward to bringing out of this journey? What do you think your statement will bring to the African communities? You mentioned climate cafes, and we'll definitely get to dive deep into that in the next episodes. Maybe you tell us, what are you looking for? What is Enock really looking for out of this for the entirety of Africa?
For coming back, as Enock person, as I am my spokesman or spokesperson, so I'm seeing coming back, having a solution to my community and having an hub or a space where cycling is not just recited or in mentioned, it's just an happening. I want to see Wheels for Climate, and at the center of Wheels for Climate, community getting the big words and the big actions in a way that they can contribute in real time. As I am speaking right now in Kenya, there is no one who really certifies a bike technician who does the repairs. I know you are really wow. You normally see 1 million bike technicians, but no one really certifies them. As we are talking now about EV or electric vehicles and e-mobility, how best can Wheels for Climate bridge the gap of having certified tailor-made technicians or helping youth who are having a thought or passion of doing something that resonates to the core purpose of Wheels for Climate. So we are not looking at just, I can't say it, a one-stage show or a one thing happening. We need, once we come back, we connect with the community, tell them after our reporting and evaluating what we did, and our forging forward will be also embarked on now. Best will be also involving the different departments that are relevant to policy making in advocacy, creating a better set city where people can cycle. In fact, we need to see how these voices of different cyclists who are doing different things, they can be well articulated and turn these voices into laws, and these laws to implementable action plans that the people benefit. As we also talk about now, it's balancing the climate action equation, seeing how we see people, planet, and the profit bit coming to balance. But at the core chemistry behind all this is planet at the center of it all. Because people, we have centered people, yes, but sometimes we normally forget the planet because people need more profit and they forget about the planet. So letting people understand the planet as a meaning in this equation will not only be a restoring element for the planet, but you are restoring the people to understand what the planet takes for the people to be in it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The triple P equation.
Yeah, the triple P equation. I'm not a chemist or a physicist. I'm just
true.
It's a cross-cutting program for our well-being and existence.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get back from COP and then we'll dive deep into the triple P equation again.
Yeah, true. Because as I am breathing and living, There's now, I don't know how many times I've breathed since I have come in. But I know when I'm on, something should be moving. It's like when you set on a vehicle or, I don't know, an aeroplane if it has a key, but I don't have a friend who is pilot, but I'm looking forward to have one.
True.
I know every mechanism has a start and an end point. So when I'm always start or I'm moving, there should be something moving and not centered in my like areas of interest. No, but my immediate, the people who benefit. Either way, we might not be connected, but we are connected together. Humanity, the environment, it takes the other or other to be
connected.
Yeah.
Wow. That was really powerful. Maybe to wrap up, you could tell us what is a climate-related issue you don't think is getting enough attention.
The biggest climate issue that is not getting attention is the people. In this way, I know people are talking about the changes, all these things, but they haven't like changed. We are looking into more like restoration. But you can't restore if the people who are immediate like occupants or inhabitants of the place they can't understand what is this climate thing. In fact, communities they know like climate from their like ancestral connection, but now the climate, the big word. In fact, here in Kenya, I have done my research. People talk about climate change, but a few only people just understand it's just change. It's a natural. So this draws down even to someone saying it's just an ox. Yeah. And the biggest thing is if humans understand, it will also bring their consciousness of what they should do. And this also will trickle down to advancing the best suit like behavioral change. So, because I can't say wildlife, they understand there is climate change. They visit us, like kututembelea in terms of human-wildlife conflict. Look, change of like patterns, food production, all these things. Cross-cuttingly, it is all centered to the most intelligent.
The person.
Yeah. Intelligent living creature is human, who is like on top of the hierarchy. So I can say for this climate issue to be like well addressed, human should have an art to like listen, have an audience, and now bring the change. Because as much as we look to restore ecosystems, invest in like renewable energies, yes, people will just see it as a profit set entity, but they can't understand how best will help them in connection to the AI. So humans, and that is like the head and the reason of this climate change. It's a natural occurring phenomena, but now humans have
influenced.
They influence.
They're the greatest influencers.
Yeah. So climate issues revolve around humans, and they need like to address for us to advance and see big like. So this also can narrow down to our listeners and viewers. Visit Project Drawdown and see what they have and solutions that are supposed to be like good. Project Drawdown.
Drawdown.
Yeah, Drawdown.
Amazing. You've heard it from Enock Kitheka. Follow up Project Drawdown to get more of what it's saying. We asked the last question, which was, what is a climate-related issue he thinks it's not really given that much attention? And mentioned the people. The climate conversation should be centered on the people. And I think that also is one of the core goals in the Cycle to COP30 ride. They're going to be riding across 5 different African countries, documenting real African climate stories, and they're going to from which they're going to make a statement and then present at COP30. This is a community-centered initiative, and we're really looking forward to seeing how this turns out. And definitely follow us and see how you could be part of this journey. You can follow them on the social media Wheels for Climate at #CycleForHope. Thank you very much for joining us, Enock. And definitely, your story was powerful. We look forward to seeing how that seed of an oak grows to become what you just stated it would be. Right?
Yeah.
And thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. My parting shot, I don't want just to be an oak, but I need extra species in the ecosystem. I am an oak. You might be a mahogany. You might be a seed. You might be a squirrel. You might be a tiger. You might be a red panda. Let's rebuild this earth and engrave a change that is not just for clicks or follows, but that clicks to generations.
Thank you very much for joining us. Stay tuned at Life as a Young Activist to follow their journey. We'll be updating their journey and the days and how they are on the road, whatever they're working, the climate cafes they're doing. It will be amazing to gift the world back what you guys are doing on the ground. Thank you for joining us. And also, be sure to follow us on social media platforms, subscribe, and listen to all our episodes on all the platforms that are listed down in the description below. Thank you for joining us.